This, as best I know, is an Imperial made by Fujijin, mid-60s, and it's a bit of a quirky little fella. It's built more stout than most of these hollow bodies of the period. It's actually a little bit thicker. It's more along the lines of like a Harmony, something, you know, a little more stout body. What am I thinking of? The Speed Demon. It's a lot like a Speed Demon's construction, only a Speed Demon would be a little bit longer, but it's stiff. It's a heavy construction, which is good because I didn't have to put any supports underneath it. And of course I got it, there was nothing on it. There was no pickups, nothing, just neck and body. The weird thing about this is the neck is very narrow. And I mean like narrow this way, not this way, not the thickness. It feels like a very normal D, except that it's like 1.5 inch at the nut and doesn't get up to 1 7/8 down here at the bridge. And that's why I've got a Rickenbacker bridge on here, because it's essentially narrow like a Rickenbacker. Probably even a little more narrow than a Rickenbacker. But nothing wrong with that. So I put the 12-inch radius on there and the new Jescar 47104 frets, and it's got a real rosewood fretboard, real good working truss rod. It's one of those multi-laminate necks that is indestructible, which I love those things because there's never a problem with them. And then I put some new locking vintage style tuners on there, which is kind of nice. It's got a lot of splits in the surface. This is just surface, you know, cracks and splits, and in the finish that don't amount to anything except that you can see them all over the place. The bridge is floating, but it's pinned, so it's not going to move around. And it's a Rickenbacker bridge is like a variation on a Tune-o-matic. You can adjust the saddle, so it's not going anywhere. There is a block underneath the bridge which keeps it from collapsing, and is nice. And it acoustically it's quiet, but it's a little bit brighter than, say, a semi-hollow, which would have a big old chunk of lumber down the middle. It doesn't have that. It's an open space inside there. Now, you're thinking, why don't you put P90s on there? Well, I can't put P90s on here because the string spread is so narrow that the pole pieces would be way out of bounds. And it would work, but everybody would freak out about that, because if you don't get the pole piece right underneath the string, they just don't think it's the way it's supposed to be, even though it'll work fine. And the holes are cut here, right? There's already a hole here, a hole there. I couldn't like slant anything either because, you know, I'm stuck with this. But my solution is my Type 13 single coils, which work fine. It's basically a bar magnet, the DeArmond Rose style silver foil, gold foil, which is essentially, I like to describe it as a P90's little brother. It's got the same clarity to it, and when you crank it up, it'll sizzle. It doesn't have the big whomp effect that a P90 does, but it will do some wild stuff when you crank it up, and they especially come alive on a hollow body. So it's a really nice match, and they hum cancel when they're played together. So you got the bright one back here, you got the mellow one there, and you got more of a sweet sound together. The hum cancels. 2 sets of controls, right? Do all sorts of things there. It's got a new trapeze. Everything's solid on this. It's had its share of repairs, it looks like, around the binding, but it's all there. It's all intact. It's good and solid, and you know, it just feels sturdy. It feels sturdy. It feels nice. It's an Imperial, and it is sweet.